Yes. Anyway, now that I got your attention, thank you so much for 3,000 subscribers. It is a little crazy how fast this has been growing. But, I mean, seriously, thank you guys so much. And thanks for watching the videos, especially the latest one about the Iowa Baseball Confederacy. It took a very long time to make it, and because of that, I figured it'd be neat to do a little behind the scenes of like how I made it. Because why not, you know? Just so I can show off some of this Minecraft stuff. And yeah, I made the whole video on Minecraft. I was gonna do Blender, but because I watched Hayden's video about the longest baseball game ever, which is a very good video, you should watch it by the way. I saw that video, and I was like, I want to do that. That looks awesome. And then I tried to do Blender, and I couldn't figure out how to do anything. I got this. This is what I got. I couldn't figure out how to texture it, and then I just gave up. So, of course, the second best option was the block game Minecraft. But that was basically why it's in Minecraft. Of course, that's the number one question I figured you all probably have is why Minecraft? So there you go. I started reading this like about the same time as I was finishing up the last video, the baseball's longest night, because I ordered it on Amazon like as I was doing the research for it, and I was like, oh, this looks interesting, and I started reading it, and there you go. I finished the script around like the end of February, and so it took about a month to make the whole thing, which is not the longest I've spent on a video. I mean, the Rays and the Storm is about the same time, but this one was definitely very different because, you know, no Google Earth, no Prezi, none of that. It's in the block game. So speaking of which, let's take a look at the Minecraft. Now, obviously, the first thing is to get all of these skins. Some of them I made, and some of them I took from other websites. Shoutouts to those people who made the skins. The ones I made were Gideon and Stan and the Confederacy players and the Cubs players and the umpire and Sarah and, you know, like the alternate versions and this and a couple more, and that was about it. The rest I just took. Like, obviously, I didn't make Teddy Roosevelt or Leonardo da Vinci. So thanks to the people who made those skins. And then, of course, the ending where you have, like, Drifting Away's alternate outfits, and then his wife, who I didn't even change the color of her face because you don't see her face anyway. Same with Sunny. Like, Sunny and Sarah's skin are exactly the same. The only difference is the shirt. And of course, you don't see her face either, so it doesn't really matter that much anyway. So, as you can see, there's 6 different versions of the world, which, of course, there's the 1978 version, and then the 1908 version, and then, of course, there's Flooded, and then the church gets destroyed, and then this one at the ending. So, we're going to look at the 1978 version first. Anyway, this version of the 1978 world doesn't have much. It really only has the house because the train tracks are here, but there's no train. There's no church over there, no tree. There is this because I had to get the scene where they're at the game together. So this is here. Of course, they're looking out to nothing. There is no field, but had to have that as well. But the main thing, of course, is Gideon's house, which I had a friend help me build the house. Special shout outs to them. It is one of the few buildings that actually has like an interior. So the furniture is all a mod, like the Macaw's furniture mod. So, you know, that's why there's a ceiling fan and a table and chairs and lamps and whatnot. It looks very nice. This scene's still here where Gideon and his father are talking about something. Still having that there. Of course, the garage is right here, and the garage is empty for the longest time until the scene at the end where he's running to his truck. So I had to actually make a truck. But for the longest time, there was nothing in there. And then, well, here we have Gideon's father on the roof. He's there and he's in here. Of course, this video would not have been possible without the straw statue mod by Fuzes, F-U-Z-S. Literally a lifesaver. If it wasn't for this, I'd be having to use armor stands for all this, and it would have sucked. But it's basically, you know, click this. I can set this to be me. Then I can move the head around, move the arms around, rotate the lad, you know, put him, move his position, and rotate him here. Now do. Can even make him bigger and smaller. So we have a little tiny Gideon. And, you know, very beautiful. Now up here is the upstairs. There isn't really much in here aside from Gideon's bedroom, which of course there's another Gideon here looking at the book. And then in here is the bathroom, which is never seen in the entire video. Well, okay, it's not seen from the inside. You'll see it like on the outside a couple times, but nothing happens in it. But you know, you gotta have it in there to just make the house look, you know, not empty. Aside from the attic. Here's the attic. There's nothing in it. Wow, incredible. Now we're in the alternate version of the 1978 world, and there's a few more things in this one than the other one. So of course we got John and Gideon there. There's Stan over there. And then we have the train in its ruined state, which I built this train by myself. I did not follow a tutorial or whatnot. I built this train myself. I think I did a good job, hopefully. And I only bothered to make one passenger car because I just didn't want to make another one. But over here we have the town, which we actually have both versions of the town. So we have the old 1908 version right here, and then the 1978 version right next to it, which little interesting. Obviously, when I did the scenes here, I had to like place the camera so you don't see the old town in the background. I mean, I could have got rid of this, but I just didn't want to. And building these just kind of felt like making a movie set, because obviously you only gotta build what the audience will see, because like there's nothing in these buildings. All these buildings are empty, except for this one, because this one I ended up using for where Gideon and Stan sleep. But you only ever see the outside anyway, so you don't really need to build an interior. And it's the same for these 1978 buildings as well. Like I didn't even bother filling in the rest of this because you know you don't see the inside. And then over here we have the first time we see the tree, the holy tree, and the bed right next to it for some reason. And the church, which this I was still building the church when I copied this world, so that's why the church is like half finished. But we'll see that in its full glory later. And then this is the river. Obviously the river gets very flooded later, but this is what it looks like in its default state. And then the last thing in this world is all the way over here. We have the highway where Gideon's wife Sunny leaves him and runs into a truck, which is fantastic. This is one of the last things I built because, you know, it only happens at the end and it's a short scene anyway. But of course you have Gideon's truck, we have Gideon himself, and the other truck, which is just there. You know, this is just a floating highway in the middle of nothing. So fantastic. Now it's time for the actually interesting part, the 1908 version of the world. Wait, why is that tree on fire? What is going on over here? I'm gonna be real, I have no idea how this happened. It's probably lightning or something. Anyway, obviously we have the field, the baseball field, where everything happens. And I had to do a little bit of terraforming to make this a nice little flat area to put the field on. And then have it be right next to the river also, of course. But we have all of the players, so this is still set up because it's like, it was the scene where they do a double play, like Tinkers to Evers to Chance. So you have the guy running to the base. And these are all the players. I had to place down all of them individually. So like when I change my skin, I have to leave the game and then come back in with a new skin. But for scenes like this where there's like 8 different characters, I had to leave the game and enter the game like 8 different times to get everybody there, and then of course I had to put everyone in position. So when the players swapped, like when the Cubs are on the field and then they have to go to the dugout because they're going to bat, and the Confederacy has to come on the field, that took a while to swap everybody out, put them in position. But it just is what it is. And then we got the band in the background watching as this guy comes up and he strikes out or something. And then this is the Confederacy dugout with O'Reilly and Stan just sitting there. With the rest of the just kind of shoved them in. Like there's the Confederacy catcher just still crouching and sitting there. But you don't see him anyway, so it's fine. It's fine. When we had fans in the stands, they put armor stands everywhere, which at the beginning wasn't too bad because there wasn't that many armor stands. But then you have the scene in the thunderstorm where like 10,000 people are supposed to be there. So there's armor stands everywhere, especially along the outfield. And there were so many armor stands that it was causing the game to lag when I looked at it. So that's how many people there were. And then, of course, I had to get rid of all of them. So that's fantastic. So, of course, in this version of the world, we have the train in its fully restored state. And we have the passenger car, very nice, very lovely. And then we have Gideon and Sarah just here for some reason. Well, this is just when they're looking out to the distance, the Minecraft generation, like that and that. I mean, I know for Iowa, I don't think Iowa's this like hilly. I don't know. I've never been to Iowa. So if it's not accurate, well then, oh well, so sad. And now we have the town. Of course, I had to flatten this area out too, which looks kind of ugly, but it's fine. You don't see the town from these angles anyway. This house I mentioned before, this is the house where Gideon and Stan are sleeping in, and also Drifting Away is here for some reason. But every other house is empty. Aside from this one, this is the like the town hall community center thing where they have the dance and the players come eat here after every night, but we don't see that at all. And then of course is also where Gideon meets Elder Wample for the first time, where he's just there observing. And speaking of which, we have the church over here, which this was also an empty building at first, but then I realized I actually have some scenes that happen in the church, so I have to put something in the church. So we have this, and we got the little candles and the chandeliers and the benches, and I think the church looks nice. I think this and Gideon's house are the two buildings I like the most because I actually put something in them. Wow, incredible. This is what the game looked like for most of the time, because there's just this, the players on the field, and then stuff happens, and then of course it starts raining, which I have to have this going the whole time while it's raining. And while I'm on the topic of this, I might as well talk about the shaders, which I use the complimentary shader pack by MNGT, specifically to change the color of the sky and do all that stuff. So like there's a color grading, you can go in here and apply this, and then turn up like the contrast, turn up the red. There you go, now it's all red. Lighting color multipliers, you can change that too. Turn that on. Let's just make it spooky red, because why not? Okay, well this is more of an orange, but I mean, whatever. And then you can change the clouds too. So the clouds can be red. And then you can also have like a Aurora Borealis, which happens in a few scenes, and then some like different star amounts. And then one more thing I forgot, materials, rain puddles, which come on at the end. But that's how this effect happens. But yeah, most of the time it was like this. I mean, obviously it didn't look exactly like this because it was a different color, but that is what I had to deal with most of the time, so that's great. Now we're in the second version of the world, and the main difference is that the river is flooded. And we're on the ending. You know, the game is over. And you still have all these players here, and I think it's just a nice moment to preserve, you know? But everything gets destroyed in this version of the world, which is fantastic. The river, like, look at how much it has risen since the last world. I rose the water level like 4 or 5 blocks. You can see the original water level down here. This is the original water level, and this is what it came up to. And you know, it's gone so high up. The church is under the water. The tree is under the water. Of course, in here we have Elder Wample doing his thing. And then the other difference. Oh yeah, I guess there's this also. This is the Stan or Gideon in his little hut. After the town gets destroyed in the book, Gideon and Stan sleep in like a wagon, like a horse wagon carriage type thing. I didn't build all of that. I just had this and like some mud in the front, whatever. And then of course the town. The town gets obliterated, which is kind of hard to like show a town getting destroyed in Minecraft by water like flowing in. So I just resorted to TNT blowing it all up. There's a video of me blowing it all up, or just destroying it. So you'll see that video right in a second. But this was an interesting part to do because, you know, here's the town and then here's all destroyed. And to put water everywhere pretty much. It is time to destroy the town. Also, one more Easter egg. The scene towards the beginning where the guy comes to second base and he blows himself up, the crater is still there. It is underneath second base. I didn't fill it in all the way. And in fact, there's also the redstone repeaters where I put them all up, you know, lined them up with a button here, stood right here, blew it up. The recording's still there. I'm going to play that right now. And there he goes. He blew up. Of course, I had to use command blocks for certain things that happen. This is still here. This command block, which strikes the tree where Gideon's father is, and just gives him like the knowledge of the Confederacy. You know, still here. So, watch it happen. Here it comes. Here it comes. 3, 2, 1. Wow, that was quite loud. Okay. I need a command block like lightning strikes for some things. And the last thing in this world is this train. So I had to have a shot where the train car is by the river, and then show the train car getting destroyed. So I built a separate track with another passenger car right here. There was a passenger car here before, but obviously it has been destroyed. And speaking of things being destroyed, this is the church destroyed. And also, this is where I got the thumbnail for the video. Well, one of two thumbnails. I made two separate thumbnails for this video, but this one seemed to do better, so I picked that one. But the main difference in this one is, well, all the players are gone, first of all, but the church has been destroyed. And, you know, it's basically just blew it up. This coming down here, and then it strikes the holy tree, and then Elder Wample's right there. He's right there in the wreckage. Like, in the actual video, you can see him, like, poking out from there. And then these are church people watching on. It was a little weird, like, you know, just strategically blowing it up and, like, making it look like it's actual wreckage. I spent so long building this, I had to blow it up. And over here, we have Gideon and Drifting Away. This is where they would be hanging out for a few scenes. Looking over this part of the river, because I didn't want to see, like, the field or whatnot in the background. They're just on their own little spot. And the first scene where Drifting Away appears, he's much taller than Gideon is. So, like, this was set to 7. So, you know, look at the height difference between the two of them. And then, as the story goes on, he gets smaller and smaller. And then at the end, he's basically the same size as Gideon. And this is just, you know, they look out, they observe. Incredible. And this is the last version of the world, the ending, which, I mean, there's a guy there, so that's great. But it's really pretty much the same as the initial version of this world, with one difference. Rip Bozo. Yeah, very, very epic, very wholesome. And then this car, I followed a build to make the car by WBC Builds. And I actually built the car backwards. So I built it facing this way at first, and I was like, oopsie doopsie. So I turned it around. So, I mean, the back of the car is a little scuffed, but you don't see the back of the car anyway, so it's fine, it's fine. But that is pretty much everything in the Minecraft world. And it, you know, some things took a while to build, like the town, the train, and whatnot. And then I had to move all this stuff around, but it was a fun experience. It was definitely unique using something like Minecraft to make this into a reality. Will I ever do something like this again? I don't know, but you know what? At least I can say I finally got this done, because wowee, this took a long time and also took up a lot of file space on my computer. Goodness gracious. Anyway, I just wanted to share behind the scenes. Number one, because it's 3,000 subs, you know, thank you very much. But number two, because I thought it would be interesting. Thought it would be nice to let you guys peek behind the curtain and take a little look-see. And if you liked this video, well, I can do some more behind the scenes. You know, if you want to see, like, the history of the Rays, the baseball scoregami, the Tampa Bay Storm, you know, some more of that. So let me know if you want to see those. What videos do you want to see? Like a little look at how they were made, pretty much. But thanks for watching. Then thanks for watching the main video about the book. And thank you for 3,000 subscribers. You guys are the best. Love and epic. And I guess I'll see you later. So, bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.